Subscribe this channel.
Long ago there was a lonely girl. The girl was surrounded by people, and had all the things she could desire. But if she had everything, why was she so alone? The lonely girl was spoiled by her rich parents. Dresses, jewelry, and all the attention anyone could want. But she did not want these things. The lonely girl would retreat to the library and would retreat to the library and would get lost in adventures and love tale printed on the pages before her. Oh, how she wanted these adventures. She wanted to be swept off her feet by magical experiences. But the lonely girl was forbidden to leave the castle she called home. One night, the lonely girl could not take the silence any longer. She needed to fill the void that had buried in her heart. So the lonely girl decided to run away. She slipped out of the castle and ran into the night, bringing only the clothes on her back. She ran hard and fast into the night. The stars freckled the sky above her, illuminating an unknown path before her. She ran until her feet ached and her lungs screamed. Soon her home town was out of sight. Adrenaline rushed through her veins, pushing her further no matter how much she ached to stop. Soon the cobblestone path ran its course and she found herself in front of a dense forest. Air burned her lungs as she caught her breath. This is the adventure she had been craving for. The moon was high, was in the sky now, casting shadows around her. The lonely girl approached the mysterious forest and was swallowed by the darkness. The lonely girl wandered through the trees. Her eyelids became heavy. She needed rest. She quickly found a tree and climbed up high, and found a large branch to sleep in for the night. The fresh air opened her lungs and she had no trouble falling asleep that night. The lonely girl wandered far and wide, not thinking that civilization would be near. Soon the trees began to fan out and a small field came into view. Tiny white and yellow flowers scattered across the lush green field. In this green field was something she did not expect. A small cabin was built right in the center as sunlight lit it for display. Curiosity lit up inside the girl and she slowly approached it. The cabin was not very big and it had 2 windows and a porch. No lights were lit inside. The lonely girl walked onto the porch with caution. The cabin was built by hand and with great precision and care. The girl's hand extended for the doorknob when a voice came from behind her. "I wasn't expecting visitors," said the voice. The girl froze. She slowly turned around to see a young lady, no older than her, standing before the steps. She had silky hair and sun-kissed skin. The girl stammered for an apology, but the stranger just laughed. The woman walked up the steps and stopped in front of the girl. "You don't look like from around here," she said with a grin. The girl remained silent. No words would form. The girl could see the stranger clearly now. She had several scars on her skin and beautiful hazel eyes. She was barefoot and wore leather skins that the girl assumed that she had made herself. The stranger spoke up again. "Can you talk?" The girl nodded nervously. The stranger smiled. "Why don't you come in? Looks like you were headed in there anyway." The girl flushed with embarrassment and followed behind her. The cabin had one room, the bedroom. The rest was open to lounge and cook. The girl immediately felt at home. The stranger introduced herself and welcomed the girl into her home. Animal skins and skulls decorated the home. Candles littered the window sills and tables. This stranger was huntress and a tough one, at that. The girl felt her pulse race under her gaze. The girl told the huntress what had brought her there. The huntress smiled. "You are welcome here. You can stay or leave as you please. Berries and vegetables are provided as well as fresh game." The lonely girl's face lit up with joy. That is how their friendship began. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. The huntress took the girl on adventures and traveled the forest and beyond. While the huntress went out to catch game, the lonely girl would stay and harvest from the garden. After meals, they would share stories of their past and laugh at their mistakes. At night, the two would huddle for warmth in their bed. And one morning, the lonely girl realized that she wasn't so lonely anymore. But our story doesn't end here. One day, the huntress and the girl ventured to the market. The huntress yelped in glee and rushed to another girl's side. The girl looked to see her huntress embracing someone unknown. The huntress waved over the girl and introduced her to the stranger. The three agreed to catch up with one another. But the huntress informed the strange beauty of what she and the girl shared. The girl became aware of how the two interacted with each other. The huntress looked at the enchantress like the way she looked at the girl. Something began to bubble up inside of the girl. This feeling was foreign to her. What was this? She didn't like this feeling. Soon, their lunch ended and the enchantress went on her way. The girl and her huntress returned to their home. Things went back to the way they were and their nights and days continued with a shared love. But then things changed. The huntress had become more absent and the girl was left alone in the cabin. The huntress would return with hilarious stories from her time spent with the enchantress. That unwanted feeling became more frequent and headaches began to plague her when the huntress left. The girl noticed how her huntress didn't look at her the way she used to, and soon, the girl became lonely again. The lonely girl looked around their cabin, that warm homey feeling filling her heart. The lonely girl grabbed her bag and placed a note addressed to her huntress. And the lonely girl with a heavy heart left the cabin and made her way back to her castle. A1. The end.